5. I hope you. Sorry, there was a little freeze here on my end. I hope you didn't miss me too much, but luckily my colleague Gwen did a phenomenal job of hosting last week. But today I will be your host. My name is Adrian Kolf. I am the co-founder and CEO of Matcher, and I'm really excited that today Alla Pavlova will be here to speak with us. But before I introduce Alla, let me tell you a little bit more what we do with Matcher, so you get a good idea of who we are and what we do. We are a global embedded RPO company, and we provide sourcing and recruitment teams tailored to the needs of skill-ups and enterprises like Action, Miro, Booking, and Eneco, and many, many others. If you're ever looking to grow your team with flexible sourcing or recruitment support, please feel free to reach out to me. But also, if you're looking for your next role in sourcing or recruitment, please check out our careers page and our LinkedIn, because we're actively hiring for a variety of different roles. One last thing, if you don't follow us yet, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and or sign up to our newsletter to stay tuned of the latest updates of everything that we're doing with Matcher, and also of the next updates for our next speaker for our sourcing webinar. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Alla. Alla, hey, yes. And also, our viewers don't notice, but actually we had a speaker drop out last minute, and there's only one person that we knew that we could ask for a favor, and of course it was you, Alla. Not the first time that we've done this. Remember, like, we've asked you already probably 1 or 2 times, like, Alla, we have a speaker drop out. Can you come and speak? Oh, thank you.
That was the best decision I ever made, to fill in for someone. Hopefully things are okay, because you never know. But I filled in, and that video became my business card. And people said that they watched it and they found a job, and it's still actual after 3 years. So yeah. I hope right now I'm also making my next good history.
Yeah, that video went viral. We have over 5,000 views on that particular video. I think 3 years ago on the sourcing webinar series, right?
Yes, yeah, the first ones. Yeah.
And I have another cool nugget, Alla, because you spoke at TRC, the recruitment conference, our flagship recruitment conference that we organize every year in Amsterdam. And out of all the speakers that were there, and we had some pretty phenomenal speakers this year, you were the highest rated speaker out of everyone.
After Troubadour, he told me. So the Troubadour was #1. So I still have a competition there to beat.
I mean, the Troubadour, our musician. I mean, I would put Jurgis in a different league, you know, like in terms of what he brings and what he does. But out of all the people that delivered content, you were our highest rated speaker. And it really, truly is a testament of every time that I see you speak, you're engaging, you bring value, truly true insights of things that people can actually use in their day-to-day. So yeah, thank you for always sharing your knowledge, for coming with new things, and also for being here with us today.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such an intro. I hope this presentation is going to be as good as I hope for it.
Alla, the floor is yours. So for all of our viewers that are dialing in live right now, please answer any questions that you have in the chat. We'll collect them at the end. Also share where you're from and where you're dialing in from, because we would love to hear from you. Alla, the floor is yours.
Thanks so much. Thank you. And happy to see familiar faces joining from different places. So this is great. I'm going to start sharing my screen and telling you things and the reason why I chose this topic today. I'm going to start from sharing my screen, and let me know if you can see it. So that's the first thing. And you know me, guys, I'm going to share everything, like anything, all the links, the presentation, etc., will be yours to have it. So don't worry. Yeah, you see my screen. That's great. I chose this picture because it's basically pointing the fingers who is doing what. And for many years in recruitment, I think I was focused on making people happy. So I'm basically always in pursuit of happiness and making hiring managers happy, making candidates happy, etc. And I was looking for the ways how to make it happen. And I found a few things that actually works out very well, and I shifted my mindset about it, and it helped me to become rather partner than a helper. So this way, so I'm very happy to share with you a few things here. And yeah, today's my mom's birthday, so that's why I know she's going to be watching it, and I just want to say, hey mom, happy birthday, and I hope you're not going to be embarrassed my experience that I'm going to share right now. Moving forward, so I will after this lovely introduction, I will just skip my intro and just say that everything I'm sharing is not related to my clients. It's only purely my thoughts and my observations. That's important. And moving forward, so the first thing that actually came to my mind when I was talking to my community of dedicated sources and recruiters, like, what are the things that's challenging with hiring managers? And even in 2025, we still have this problem with hiring managers wanted to see more candidates, hiring managers not having enough time to spend on sourcing, on recruitment, and no time in the agenda, no time to onboard properly, etc. So I hope it's going to make you smile a little bit. That's in hiring manager title, hiring is actually not their main job, and so mainly what they're focused on is actually their day-to-day responsibilities that are like managing people or something else. So this way, I would say, maybe that's our perception, that they need to spend a lot of time. And on average, hiring managers spend maybe 1 or 2 hours on this duty per week. So that's why, like, that's the first thing that you need to, like, as a new joiner to recruitment, or as a person who's been doing it for a long time, hiring is not their direct responsibility. This is our job, full-time job of hiring. Yeah, I'm using a lot of AI tools also, and sometimes this presentation is actually created also like purely AI, and everything suggested and tested, etc. But yeah, I do see some imperfections here as well. What I started to do with my mindset is I started to think about the value and where these problems are coming from, why hiring managers have what they have with us as a complaints. One thing I want to ask you, this is going to be like the golden tip from this presentation. I'm giving it away straight away right now. Have you ever survey your hiring managers on terms like how good is the hiring process, how good is the interview process, why they do this and that, etc. Have you ever asked if they're happy with the, or like you can use the way, like if they feel that there is a value coming from talent acquisition team? So I really would love for you to comment, because the biggest takeaway, the biggest change that's in shift that happens with a lot of my clients is where I suggested, hey, let's have a look. Let's do the survey. Let's ask hiring managers, like, why do they think that like 30 candidates is not enough? What else they are looking, and etc. etc. It was so insightful. I have never had it was like really literally like, I thought it's obvious. And this is another very important shift in the mindset, that if you think something is obvious, especially for hiring managers whose job is not to be that much as a recruiter or a sourcer, how do they understand where is this bias coming from? How do they understand the market, etc.? So I will help you out a little bit with a few practical advice. I see that Christian has mentioned that do hiring manager surveys every quarter to incorporate the results into the next cycle of OKRs. This is great. And sometimes what I would also recommend is to do anonymous surveys just to encourage sometimes like dropping some opinions, some feelings that they are not going to share if it's very much like name based, so everybody knows that. So I try both. surveys that are anonymous and surveys that are dedicated to specific role. And of course, after like we closed the role, like sending the reports, sending information and asking follow-ups. And it was like really. So this is great that you do it every quarter. One thing that I also want to ask you, if you do surveys and they voluntarily agree to it and spend the time, I would first of all run your questions with, of course, generative AI, or maybe if you have a coach somewhere in your organization, or you know a good coach, you can also run by them and say, hey, maybe we are a little bit biased in terms of the questions we're asking, and some coming back with different questions, because what I also noticed that the questions that I'm asking, I'm kind of know what answers I want to get. So another valuable outcome that I had with hiring managers was inviting like executive coaches or talent career coaches just to have a separate session without anyone from the company, only for hiring managers. And a lot of outcomes were like, revealed there why they think something is done the way it's done. This way, we also invested in hiring managers. So instead of actually try to teach them how to do sourcing or recruitment better, we help them to understand how is it their function, and actually we learn a lot about them as well. So I want to move forward to like the competence, how we as a recruiter can actually earn or become these partners, and how does it happen in general. So one of the valuable things that I trust and still use is I'm the person who is coming from the market. I know what is good, what is not, how I do it. I subscribe for newsletters. I get reports from different tech companies, and I get to know, like I talk to developers. I'm present at the conferences, etc. When I saw this job title, full stack AI web developer, I was like, one thing it was missing is like blockchain here. So it was really funny. And I was like, we should not go with this title, because it's developers are going to laugh at us probably. If there are developers watching this presentation and think that this title is appropriate and great, please reach out to me. I will change my mind, and I will ask you a few questions. But for me, it looks like, oh my God, how creative people are who are far away from the market. And this is my responsibility to act as the expert and advise on the things, what is going on the market. Like being a subject matter expert, that's where I see my value as the most. Market research can be done through LinkedIn sites if you have access to it. A lot of things are just available for free, like Matchar shares a lot of industry trends, what is going on, and a lot of tools and companies like Microsoft reports, Stack Overflow reports, HackerRank reports. So every big company with a really big amount of people working there in talent and in engineering, they have this reports available for you that you can get a lot of interesting insights. If you're feeling that you're not technical enough, I would suggest just feed it to Gen AI, and it's going to give you the summary. You're going to learn a lot from them. So subject matter expert is a real thing, and when you go to your meeting with hiring managers, that's what you need to remind yourself. So here you are presenting information from the market, what companies hiring, in which companies, you can headhunt people. And actually, the reason I promised you to tell you why I chose this topic with hiring managers and recruiters, the guide to collaboration, partnership. I had a collaboration with hiring managers on, I did the calibration exercise. Calibration exercise is where you, for example, you got all the details about the job, and you take a little bit of time to look in the market and select, let's say, 10 people that you want to show them that you think is a great fit. Whenever you have difficult conversations with hiring managers, you have to sit down together and go through profiles. If your hiring managers are very, very busy, at least you can ask them to comment and so that's easy as well. It's not going to take a lot of time. 10 profiles, it's more than enough to see if you're in the right direction or not. And basically, when I did this, I tried to bring like 10 candidates that are perfect fits, that are 100%. The hiring manager reaction was like, oh my God, your job is so amazing, so interesting. So you basically can tell me from which companies you like, you want to steal the talent, or like, what is going on. There is like a layoffs, there is like a change of which technical stack is more interesting. So basically, I was so inspired by the fact that the hiring manager was so impressed with my job, so that I couldn't stop. And I'm going to share with you a few tools that's going to help you to impress them even more. A few things. So how to become the subject matter expert. So one of the things, of course, you do the market research, and there is millions of different ways how you can do it, even asking Perplexity, like I'm using Perplexity now, maybe you're in the ChatGPT and anything else on DeepSeek as well. Like that's very interesting what is going on right now with Gen AIs. But you can also ask for the summary of the things that are going on, like in the Netherlands, so with the market, with looking for Go developers. I can tell you that I found like around 2,000 people, and I can't find more. So that's why, like, I need some creative ideas where to search. And so the market research, I think it's one of the things that we are kind of becoming a little bit better and faster. The knowledge of ins and outs, this is something that I want to share with you. So this is the website that I'm using personally for just understanding of any role that I'm like started working with. So I'm going to use as an example, let's say something very simple. This is actually the job I really like DevRels engineer. A lot of recruiters, and this is the trend that I actually forgot to mention to my chair when I was writing the report, that I see a lot of recruiters moving to DevRels. So do you know a similar but less expensive tool for talent and sites, feeding reports to Gen AI and ask them to summarize, actually gave me some really good insights in terms of like locations, but I rely on reports that I found online. So no for the tools, unfortunately, for now, but I'm hoping that there will be something like that. So Talent Insights is a bit expensive, but it's useful if you if you use also LinkedIn as a main instrument for your sourcing. So that's probably not that interesting for small companies or freelancers. But anyway, so this tool that I'm sharing is free. So Roadmap is just a way for me as a recruiter to look into what are the skills, what are the things that are necessary for someone who would like to start career in this field. And I'm going through one by one. So it gives me a technical stack. It's gives me some understanding to prepare. Anytime when you go talking to hiring manager, taking the role, preparation is the key. This is the only way you can impress them, by asking questions. Hey, our technical stack is focused on Go. This language is still quite new, and would you be open to like a senior engineers who did this and that, but like they only spent a few years in Go, because that I know is still quite new language. And how do you know? But by reading a lot of information about it and getting there. So the places like this roadmap is not the only way for you to learn and become more technical. I'm going to drop a few useful links for everybody to look into after this session. So if you would like to start easy in a way, like you have, let's say you have like YouTube open on your laptop while you're working, especially when you're sourcing, you can listen. And if you go to I'm going to risk and try YouTube. Here are like ChatGPT with Google doing this and that. So we are developers. It's a big community, really nice place. And so they have a lot of absolutely free videos to watch with engineers and to follow. So a lot of topics that you're probably very curious to learn. Check this out. It's also actually also a place for me to look for the talent that I have never heard about it. And headhunter ones, always headhunter, sourcer ones, sourcer always. So I will be looking into these people through this, or I'm going to give you another alternative where I spend a lot of time, and I also find it very interesting to educate myself with the skills. So because this is what I'm lacking as a non-technical person. This is HackerRank. A lot of us in tech recruitment knows them very well. And if I go to, cybersecurity sounds very interesting, but maybe I will go for senior software engineer, and I will look, this is the skills that people need to design to become this person, and then I can probably look into more like what is what. It could be a little bit more technical than I would expect, but it's sometimes the only way for us, like, to become that subject matter experts that will be considered by hiring managers as the experts. So please feel free, by the way, to drop any questions and any particular challenge that you have with your hiring manager. Just take 5-10 seconds to think about it. Like, do you feel yourself that you are the subject matter expert, or like you have to do the roles that you don't understand, you have pushbacks on the candidate quality? Just see if you can reflect on it a little bit. And to add to this, I don't have example, but I'm going to look for it. So you can approach me on LinkedIn for that. I do regular kind of trainings for hiring managers just to show what I do. They don't need to show up. I just record them sometimes or do in person. I show them how I do it, how I go on Discord, or how I do GitHub search. And this is impressive. So I just call the session like once a month. I don't have that much time. Once a month, I call like, hey, this is like a sourcing jam. Everybody invited. I'm going to record it. And I'm going to show you how I source candidates. And maybe there are some ways that you can also look into it. And I promise them some easy takeaways. So I do the summary. Let's say if you have time, you can use this scraper or this like GitHub repositorium and etc. And I ask a lot of questions to hiring managers as well, like, what is that they want to automate or optimize, or they have challenge with, and etc. So it's always a conversation, and so the way how you position yourself in terms of like being the person who knows what they're talking about, I think it's very important. So I hope you will feel a little bit more encouraged after the session. This is one of my favorite parts. I want to be the person that is fun to work with. And I want hiring managers to have this a feeling that I'm being creative all the time in terms of like, how do I approach things, and how do I do this? So about the webinar, sourcing webinars, I will follow up on this one, but I do internally for my clients. So I basically show them the old things that we learn from events like this. And let's say I introduced, it was really a few months ago, even more, I don't know, when the note takers were becoming so popular. But basically, I showed my hiring managers the note takers, and I got like it was really like, I was asked where they can send me chocolates, because that was really something that changed the way how they save the time. And I told them, hey, you can use note takers for depends like for personal things, for the interviews. It's much easier to submit this like a scorecards, your feedback for candidates, and all the meetings are like, you can't stop them from using it. Or for example, scheduling tools. There are so many. I don't know like any like ideal for scheduling, because I think it still depends on the system we are using. And this is something that I think also strikes me after the surveys, that hiring managers are not familiar with our ATS, with our systems that we use for HR and all these kind of things. And I do see that it's a lot of struggle for them. And the scheduling part as well. I would say in 2025, after all this AI possibilities, I would say we should introduce the tools to hiring managers that's going to save their time. I think many of us are subject matter experts, but sometimes struggle with building trust with hiring managers regarding this topic. This is great, Mia. Very good point in terms of I never try to prove that I understand technologies very well. I prove that I know market, because it's my full-time job, and I understand what is going on. And one of the ways to share with hiring managers to make them see that you are the meta expert is, for example, to create this visibility. And I'm going to show you a few things. The moments when I make my work easy to access and easy to see the volume and things I'm doing, that was the shifting moment in hiring managers' questions about my capacity, or questions about why I didn't do this or that, or can we see more candidates? So I'm going to get into this right now. You will create your scheduling tool soon. Yeah, Rina, thanks so much for the encouragement. So I think for scheduling, it's the routine that will go away for sure. So there's already tools in the market, note takers as well. What still can be fun and what we can do is, for example, I like to create some guidelines for hiring managers, especially when we launch something new. I don't know how you guys feeling, but when I introduce some updates, or when I tell hey, by the way, we updated these interviews, and and my client, they were like, oh my God, oh guys, you're changing so many things, and they have their all full-time job that also has a lot of changes. I do that in different ways, and I want to show you. I just recorded. By the way, I don't know if I'm sharing the audio as well. This is the question to our backend. I'm going to try to play the audio, and if you don't hear it, so we will try to see if we can change it.
Let's try.
Yeah, I see
Alla.
Let's try. Thank you so much for popping up. So I just summoned you. Let's see. It's just a small demonstration. I use Synthesia. There are a lot of, it's my avatar. It's not me. I just texted here. So whatever I wanted to have it, and I can choose whatever backgrounds, etc. I do look a little bit tired, but it's actually been for the last 3 years like that. Don't know what to do with that. But it is easy. I just give the text. You didn't hear anything, so no audio. That's okay. So basically, I'm going to just walk you through. So there are tools like text to video. So one of them is Synthesia. So my dear friend Mark Dubos works there, and I'm going to show you. Whenever I need to change the video with me talking there, and I use my avatar, it's a paid tool, by the way, I do add the text, whatever I want to change, and it changes. So for example, our new policy changed, and this is the way how to do this intakes, and so here are the links. So I don't need to record the whole video again. I will just go and use Synthesia or the tools similar to it. There is like a free tools for that as well. I just text it here, whatever I want to say. And it's actually saying with my accent. I'm sorry you don't hear it, because I think I need to have like a special, in the StreamYard that we're using, you need to have a special kind of box unticked for sharing the audio. But anyway, it's just an example. When hiring manager is receiving it, they like super happy. It's personal. It's a lot of information there, so they can watch it, they can read it. There are different ways how they can consume the information. And I personally like it also for using for onboarding and also for using it for outreaches. But yeah, this is not the topic today, but you can be very creative. So coming back to being creative, one thing that's every 2 weeks I'm sending like a follow-up to the any hiring manager I'm working with, saying, hey, these are the things that we tried in this 2 weeks, and these are the successful things that are not. What do you think about changing the strategy a little bit? So this bi-weekly change of strategy keeps me also accountable a little bit for changes, but also it makes my job more fun, because I don't like to do the same things all the time, and it's a little bit challenging. So don't be sad that you haven't heard the audio. It's basically I said like hello to hiring managers and welcome, and this is the tutorial, blah blah blah. So and etc. etc. Moving forward, from being creative. So we also, like, one of the things that's I think in relationships everywhere makes a big difference is setting expectations. Sometimes people think very high of you, and when I do presentations, I always feel like this like small thing, like you may not to live up someone's expectations, because people who already joined this webinar, some of them can be much more advanced in some things, and I have things to learn. So that's why same as actually with relationships and hiring managers work as a partners as well. I set the expectations, how much time I have, what are we going to do, what resources we have, etc. And every time I actually give them the understanding of what can be done, what can't be done, etc. So setting expectations a little bit lower and then overachieving. This is like the best sales a tip that you can get. So promise them like 10, 20 profiles can be contacted per week, and you expect like to have maybe 50% response rate, and over deliver. So that's how you make all this, great expectations from other people. When it comes to communication, I mentioned calibration. I don't know if you do that. I'm very curious. I know I trained quite a lot of agencies in 2024, and some of the talent agencies, they created the calibration document with the scores. So they give it to the client, and they ask, hey, could you please, this is like this course definition. So we look into where this person came from, the education, the skills, etc. And to be honest, it's very interesting to see how managers also have to score on some things and how they make a decision. And another interesting exercise that I love is I'm asking hiring managers, if I see that the collaboration is not going very well, I'm asking them to provide a few profiles that they think that ideal. And you will be surprised, but a lot of these ideal candidates, like, so far away from the job description. And you're like, okay, so why are we choosing them? Oh, because I know this project, or I know I was a manager of him, like, or her in that company. So basically, it's really nothing to do with the search that you did, and so then even this job description. So that's why I think it's also very good exercise to ask. It also gives us the idea if the hiring managers have biases. We all have. I have, everybody. So if you say you don't, you're probably in denial, and you need to like seek professional help, because we all have this different backgrounds and different companies will work for. For example, I know that a lot of product companies will look skeptical in the profiles with people from outsourcing, but it's in a way our job as the subject matter experts to know that some outsourcing companies are really amazing and they deliver really good quality projects to product companies. So that's why, that's will be important. And if you set the expectations, if you're over communicating and the hiring managers can see what you're doing, these are three components to really just not to make them wait to come back to you, but you're proactively doing that. And I'm here to show you just a few of my favorite things I do. and they will be a little bit more technical. So with some of you who goes to my community, so you know, I do numbers games. So I hope it's big enough. But so basically, I don't need to point fingers and say like, you know, hey, as a hiring manager, you only select like 50%. And, you know, we had like 10 interviews, and the outcome is like, you know, we have 3 offers, etc. So I really present the funnel, the pipeline, on a weekly basis. So we see how many people came to pipeline and where they kind of, you know, grow. And something like this will be shared with them by the end of every role will be closed, so that they also see, okay, wonderful. I see that, yeah, so there's like a location challenge, or like review challenge, or maybe like a recruiter is a little bit a bottleneck here because they have to do a lot of interviews, or maybe hiring manager is a bottleneck because they don't have time to interview like the 25 candidates. So this is one way. And another way that I also like absolutely and love is to create visualizations with the challenges and problems that we have. This Napkin AI tool is one of my favorites. If you ever guys know the founders or people who do in this product, so please tell them that I'm a huge fan, because I can't stop loving this product, and it's free to use. So it's called Napkin AI. And I just gave the prompt, like just typed in, like I can show you here. So it's very easy. I will be drafting with AI. So I would be saying, I would like to show hiring managers the reasons why candidates did not accepted our offers. And I will continue. And it's going to be suggesting the things, but I also can give more context, like 3 candidates didn't accept because the salary, 2 candidates didn't accept because of relocation, etc., etc. And what I can do, because I don't expect my hiring managers to really, really, you know, spend a lot of time reading my text, I will use it for this beautiful, really amazing ways of in seconds create beautiful graphics. So at some point I did share this tool with my hiring managers a little bit later, so because I wanted to have this feeling of being a magician, being the person who is so great with graphics, but I'm definitely not. And if that's the first time you're hearing about this tool, I'm so happy for you. Because it's going to change the way how you're going to present. And yeah, it's incredibly powerful, and it's easy to change, and yeah, easy to use. So basically, whatever it works for you. So when I need to kind of reason with someone about the things that I'm doing, this is the tool that I use. And yeah, it's loading probably a little bit longer. I'm asking my laptop to do a lot of things at the same time. But when it comes to, yeah, this is my favorite, for example, yeah, why do we need some trainings, and so what are the benefits? And interesting enough, I see this also pops up in software engineers CVs. So they try to use this visualization as well for recruiters, etc. So happy using. I hope that you're gonna you're gonna use it, and it's gonna be super helpful when it comes to visualization. So you will become a master of visualization. Another thing that we can do, and I'm not sure, it depends on your ATS, applicant tracking system, but with some, and for example Greenhouse, they have with Excel the macros. If you're not familiar what is macros in Excel, please take a look at it. I also have the links for you to get through it, don't worry. Why it's important? Because there is integration between Excel and reporting system in Greenhouse, and you can pull things like this very easy, like the pipeline report. I'm not sure about other ATS, and I know that a lot of ATS trying to be modern and they're using already like AI a lot, etc. So if you can pull the data like this is amazing to see, like, and don't be afraid to really like expose the data that's probably put you a little bit in a difficult position, like you are the bottleneck or something, because you can present it to your manager, to yourself as well. Like, you spend for some reason like 5 days on the recruiter review, right? So that's probably too long, but probably there's a reason for that, because you have like 500 applications, and I'm seeing difficulty for a lot of us right now receiving fake applications. The fake meaning that there is really like spam, and so these things are making our life interesting, more challenging, etc. So, but yeah, so instead of pointing the fingers, I never go to hiring manager say, hey, I think it's taken too long for you. I'm sharing this data on a weekly basis or monthly basis, depends on the situation, and on my conversation saying, hey, what do you think? Is there anything we can improve? And like, looking at the people and hoping that they can suggest or at least agree to make some improvements. Now, extra mile is always something that makes you stick, makes hiring managers wants to work with you. And for me, the feeling when like hiring manager stays with you from one company leaving to another company, still inviting you because they had a very great experience. So how you get there? So one of the things that I used, of course, Gen AI, and I created like layoffs, follow-up, like the newsletters for my clients, saying, hey, these are the events that I suggest for you to go. This is the communities I suggest you join, and so you can post the job there absolutely for free, etc. So they don't have time, but I pick 1, 2, 3 things maximum to show. And usually people are really grateful because there's some insights there. So I share the market data. They don't ask me sometimes, but I can see they opening it. And so with my tools, I can see they opening and opening and opening. So it means I continue. So never, ever I was asked to stop providing extra information. Technical topics for beginners. I shared with you a few things like HackerRank or VIA developers. There's a lot of ways for you to educate yourself and becoming a little bit better in the technical side. And it does make sense to go and look into some basics, trainings, courses for free. A lot of things available. Maybe listening something on YouTube on how somebody can become the AI engineer, or what is prompt in engineering, etc. So these are things that are inevitably important, and I would be proud of myself even more if I could spend a little bit more time on understanding Python, because I think this is the language that is used the most in the industry, and so there's so many ways to use it. And I think it's so good for brain as well, like, to keep yourself challenged. So I'm not encouraging you to become developer, but I'm encouraging you at least to know where is the information that you can find about anything. Joining tech communities is another my favorite thing. I join Discords. It depends on the topic, like for Go developers, for data scientists, and I look into 2 different channels. One of them is introduction, and I don't use it for scraping or like, sending messages even. I introduce myself so that people know I'm a recruiter. That's already enough. If someone is looking for a job, you immediately get their attention. Or I post where like the jobs are, so it's absolutely welcomed. Or sometimes I offer some kind of help as a recruiter if anyone needs. Sometimes juniors comes and ask questions, so that's okay. And I want to kind of ask you for an interesting challenge for yourself. Is it possible for you for the next 7 days? I'm not asking for more, 7 days till next Thursday. If you can reach out to a prospective person you don't have a job for them, but you kind of know that from that company, you probably would be interested to have more network. What is it? So this is the way for me to create the network of potential candidates that I don't know exactly when I'm going to hire them, but you have to trust me in a way. The moment when I'm opening any role, because I was doing that for a few years, minimum from 2020, I had this rule of having 3, if you're interested, that's like a personal thing, 3 different outreaches per day. One for the person that could be potentially hired. Second, for the person who could be hired in the future, but we have no job, but it will be very nice to get in touch, like, I don't know, engineer from Google, engineer from another company. And the third one was to contact someone I really like on different level, like nice podcast, nice books, nice product they worked. Like so I was very curious to reach out to people who created a very specific Dutch product for splitting money. It's called Tiki. It's really hilarious, but it's a great idea. And I was very interested to talk to these people, and I just contacted and asked them, it's such a wonderful idea, blah blah blah. And it's just like you should not know now that your network is the most powerful thing that you're going to have, and you never know who's going to help you in life, and etc. Is everything you have. And if you didn't did any survey for your hiring managers, please do try to do it at least like 1 or 2 times a year, and try to look into your questions that you're asking. Maybe you're asking there too much recruitment focus, and not too much focus on exactly what is important for them, how they make decision, more like open coaching type of the questions. That would be super helpful. And so this is the QR code to scan the document that I gathered all the things that I discussed today. Now feel free to use it now. So this is basically the document. You will see it. It has links, recommendations of some extra steps that you can give. Yeah, by the way, I recommended to hiring managers to use YouTube summary. A lot of them just loved it. And again, it's for their own productivity. So some things are really nice. I'm not associated with any of the products. And my presentation was created with Gamma app. So it took me literally 30 seconds to create my presentation. But I did edit the content, of course. Have this code scanned, or reach out to Machar, or reach out to me so that I can share this document with you. Hope the link works. And let's connect. I hope it was helpful. I hope you just at least get inspired or learn something new. But I just want to tell you that, again, this topic was inspired by hiring manager thinking that my job is so awesome, so techy and spicy and spy. So that's why I felt like this is probably truly one of the interesting jobs, to be knowledgeable in the markets, to be the person who actually makes things happen. So thanks so much for your time. And I'm ready to have any questions that you have for me. And let's see if my co-host is here. So I'm going to start.
I am. Alla, so good. So good. I don't know how you do it. Like every time that you speak, I learn something new. There's an interesting angle, and you are such a wealth of wisdom. Awesome. We have a. I think. Let me see if we have any questions.
I tried to cover in the chat.
You did really well. I actually have a question for you. The roadmap, sure. The roadmap tool that you shared. Do you use it more for your own understanding of like how, like what to get under the skin of a developer, or like how do you use it in practice?
In practice, when I'm preparing for the role that I'm just going to work on, I'm using this roadmap just to have like a checklist in my head. There are frameworks. There are like different libraries they're using, or like so this gave me the idea that when I'm going to have this conversation with the hiring manager, so maybe some things will be not clear for me, and or they will, like, assume that I know that there are frameworks, but I didn't. So it's educate on basic things, and I'm sometimes curious what it takes to become someone in the profession, what steps they're taking. And I can always ask engineers, hey, do you think it's correct steps, and is it enough? More at the very beginning, when I do the research for any new role I'm starting working in that I never worked before. And to be honest, with all these AI roles, there will be kind of always a new role that I have to kind of find a way.
Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Jennifer asked a very practical question. Can you share the link? Can you share it in the chat?
Absolutely, yes. So if I click join the chat, so I'm not gonna, because it's asking me to connect to my YouTube, and so I'm like, I don't mind, but you don't wanna see what I'm watching. It's a lot of children.
I'm gonna ask Andrew to share it in the chat.
Yeah, because I have it shared. Yes.
Jennifer will send it in the email follow-up email as well with the recording of the webinar.
Yeah, so the link, Andrew, you should have it in the private chat that we have. That because my YouTube is not allowing me to connect, so probably there's a reason. No worries, Jennifer. Yeah, so you can feel free to reach out to any of us.
Great. Look, Maja is helping. Jennifer responded. All good. On the different apps and the different tools, I don't think we've addressed this. So where do you find the time to test new things? Where do you get your inspiration? We go to you, but like, where do you go?
Well, that's a very good question. So I actually going to add a few links to this document because I can. I'm using a block in my calendar. It's true. Every week I have, I shared this tip on TRC, this conference this year. I have 30 minutes blocked for my education, my personal education. And it's actually specific to AI because this is the fastest growing changes in my life. And I go to websites that have like AI generated tools, meaning that it's just, it's a dump of tools based on the categories. And I choose whatever I want. I want productivity tools. I want some, and I subscribe for a lot of tech news and techie people. And it's like, but I block my time to choose at least one tool to try per week. And this is like how I came across of Napkin AI and a lot of different things. So I'm going to add this link to this source document, and you can try it.
We're going straight to the source, Alla. We're going straight to the source.
Sure. It shouldn't be a secret. To be honest, I also asked like ChatGPT, for example, hey, what were the tools that we created for the last month? So make me a list, or like tell me which ones were anyhow related to HR or recruitment. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Hey, we had Balázs as our first speaker, and Balázs' topic was the end of sourcing. And it was a little bit doomy and gloomy, but I love Balázs because he really is also able to address some of the harder things that are questions that I think we're rightfully asking ourselves. What's the future of sourcing in the light of AI? Like where do you see sourcing sit with all the tools that you're currently testing, and where you think that the world is going to take us?
That's a great question in a way. I'm also thinking about it, and I'm tempted to switch the industry. That's very interesting. So I have a feeling that the things that let's say shortlist and sourcing candidates, there are already tools for that. So I just don't want to make advertisements for free. But there are tools that already doing that. Sourcing is not only looking for candidates, but I think the creative part, we can still, have some fun, sending the outreaches, etc. So in general with AI, I think I already managed to save 20 hours of my time with tools, note takers, scheduling tools, are my productivity tools. I'm trying to cover Christina's question as well. That enables me to do more things on the research where I'm lacking experience, and I think it's part of the sourcing. I'm like searching agent. I need to find the information, what is going on in the market, what is going on with this particular roles. If someone is like, if the company is moving, the tech stack, is it modern, is it good? I'm becoming a little bit more on the advising side and researching. And maybe analytics is something that could suit me in a way. So I see I'm positive about a lot of things, but it does feel like implementing a lot of tools is taking time, like compliances, privacy, and misinformation as well. Where like when the tools when DeepSeek was launched, people were like saying, "Oh my God, it's leaked," or then like it's a conspiracy, this and this and that. So I feel like the skill that is very important for us right now to develop is to be careful how we consume information. And so what is the real, what is fake, what is what is behind the hood, if I may say like that. So I'm sorry, and not a native speaker, but what is under the hood, right? So what is there that's this AI is using, like what do I need to give consent to access to my personal data, to my folder on with my photos and things. So just that will be an interesting shift for me. I need to start working better with information that comes to me, and it's becoming very overwhelming in terms of like how much information comes to me. And that would be my
Awesome. Let me see. I think that was it in terms of the questions that we had. You answered the majority. Alla, obvious question: where can people connect the best with you? LinkedIn, I assume.
Yeah. That exists. Yeah. So please connect with me on LinkedIn. And so the purpose of this wonderful webinars, I think, is to inspire people to make changes and to I don't know, maybe acknowledge some of the things that are not going ideal, but never give up. So that's probably my kind of feeling that I have, like never give up and try new things. Yeah.
That's it. Alla, thank you as always for being such a supporter of everything that we do, for always sharing your wisdom. I learned a lot. I already sent a couple tools to our internal Slack. Slack's like, hey, we got to test this out. For our audience, next week we have another amazing webinar. Slightly different. Alex Her is going to be speaking about the hard truth about employer branding and also why it's relevant within sourcing. Alex Her is a world-renowned keynote speaker. He's based in the US. I'm really excited to have him on for the first time. So definitely stay connected with us. Join us again next week. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And thank you so much, Alla, and everyone that dialed in. Thank you.
Bye.